Hello, my name is Megan Harrell, and this is a look at my vocational journey. Beginning all the way back with my grandparents who left the coal mines of Wales and the potato fields of Ireland to come to the United States of America, upstate New York to be precise, with the hopes of providing a better vocational future for their children and the generations to come. Dairy farming was my grandparents' first vocation in the United States of America. They set up house in upstate New York. My father was their eldest son, and he inherited the farm that he grew up on. I was their 13th child. I was born to the same parents raised on the farm my father grew up on. My mother had to leave school in 9th grade because she was pregnant and got married. She went on to have 12 other children, and I'm not sure whether or not it contributed to the emphasis she had on education and good careers. But from my earliest memories, my mother was focused on my education and career potential. My mother read to me constantly, and in her books I traveled, developed a wanderlust, a love of different cultures, and a deep sense of adventure. I may have been stuck on a farm in upstate New York, but it was in my mother's books that I first explored the world. I always was enamored with stories. It never occurred to me that I could make a career out of storytelling. That wasn't until my 5th grade teacher brought to my attention that I had quite a gift for writing. And as I went into high school, I pursued creative writing. And as a senior in high school, my guidance counselor helped me decide that journalism would be a good fit for me because I loved stories and I loved writing. So in 1998, I graduated from high school and headed south of the Mason-Dixon line to Lynchburg, Virginia, where I attended Liberty University and studied journalism as well as psychology. During my time at Liberty, I had my first office job in the financial aid department of Liberty University. Turns out, my hard work ethic that I learned on the farm proved to be quite valuable in the workforce, and they promoted me very quickly. After I graduated from Liberty University, I returned north to New York, where I worked at a local radio station. I was a staff writer there. I pulled the breaking news off from the wire and wrote it for broadcast. I thought I had an exciting career ahead of me as a broadcaster. But things took a turn when I met and fell in love with Richard Harrell. We married after I had graduated from college, but he still was going to school. He'd gone to Bible school, but now was wanting to get a degree in missions aviation. So I worked for the local newspaper where I was a staff reporter for the Elizabethton Star. I interviewed U.S. senators, local politicians. I covered murder trials and got to live the life of a reporter. The plan was for me to work at the newspaper while Richard finished college, but as with many things in life, God had other plans. It was during this time I got the first and most magical surprise of my life. My eldest son was born. I went on to have 3 more sons in 4 years. So by the time I was 28 years old, I had had 4 sons in 5 years. Needless to say, I left the workforce. In 2010, my husband decided to use his degree and skills as a missionary pilot to pursue a career with Mission Aviation Fellowship. We were assigned to the mountain kingdom of Lesotho, where my husband flew medical emergency and missions flights from remote locations inland to the capital city. I, as his wife, I guess you could say it was my job to keep track of my husband and follow him via radio and plot his course while he conducted these rescue missions. Our family was very actively involved in the remote life there. We also started and ran a youth outreach soccer program. It was a very fulfilling yet challenging time and season in my life. Life in Lesotho began to take a toll on us. We'd witnessed so much death, poverty, and destruction that we knew we had to do more than merely just fly medical missions. We weren't escaping the hardship. We wanted to run to it. So when the opportunity came for us to run a large nonprofit on the south coast of South Africa, we accepted the position. My husband was the Director of Operations at Genesis Youth, while I was the Media Relations Director from 2012 to 2019. Our 7 years on the south coast of South Africa could quite arguably be the best of my life, and I think every member of my family would say the same thing. I suppose you could say it was our occupation or our vocation to serve as missionaries there, but it didn't feel much like a job. We did everything as a family. We charted our own course and were able to do things that we thought served the Lord and others. We started local gyms to bring those who are addicted to drugs off the street. Physical fitness was a wonderful tool. In addition to the gyms, we taught garden skills to the local people so that they could grow their own food. We ran after-school programs, educational and medical outreaches, and much more. It was during this time that we met and adopted our eldest son, Uncle Pani. I guess you could say this was another vocation I had, first of all as his foster mom, and then as his adopted mother. I have to mention this as part of my vocation, as it was one of the most challenging and rewarding seasons of my life. While our time in South Africa was incredibly rewarding and it felt like home to us, it also began to become incredibly challenging. Pictured here is a man named Osborne. We credit him with saving our lives. During our last year on the south coast of South Africa, we were caught up in a riot. Osborne knew us from ministry and put out both of his arms around our car and sheltered us from the mob. In 2019, we began to feel the Lord call us back to America. It was a very difficult decision, but retrospectively, we can see the Lord's hand on it because it was right as the COVID-19 outbreak began to spread across the world. I took on a job as a media relations director in Charlotte, North Carolina at a local church where my husband was hired as the youth pastor. Here, we worked together from 2020 to 2022. I worked on the social media. I helped organize events. I was a communications director, so anything that had to do with communicating with the congregation in the community fell on my shoulders. While I enjoyed my job as the communications director at the local church, it became too much for my family with both my husband and myself on staff. It was during that time that I began my own business. I started Amazing Grace Cleaning Services, named after my house helper in South Africa, Grace. I cleaned corporate offices and small businesses, as well as homes, and I will do this until I begin my career as a therapist one day. Although it is hard work, I enjoyed the straightforwardness of the cleaning business. On top of running my cleaning business, I am also a pastor's wife. My husband is the lead pastor at another local church, so while it is not my vocation, it is a lot of responsibility. Some of my responsibilities as a pastor's wife include local volunteering opportunities. I also support the local church by being there every Sunday and every time there's a function at the church. I volunteer in kids ministry and many other ministries at the local church. I also provide lay counseling to those who seek me out or seek my husband out for help. I often counsel the females while he counsels the males. We also have a passion for missions still and do several international missions trips every year. This, on top of the cleaning business, keeps me very busy. And if owning my own business and being a pastor's wife didn't keep me busy enough, I'm still a student at Regent University trying to complete my master's degree. I'm looking for a practicum starting this summer, and I hope to be graduating from Regent by May 2027. My goal is to become a fully licensed counselor by 2030, and I hope to open my own private counseling practice by 2033. It is my sincere desire to be able to use the skills and abilities that God has given me to help counsel others as a form of vocation. What this will look like practically is I will most likely run my own private practice from the church where my husband is the head pastor. In their excitement, the people in the church have already cleaned out an office for me, thinking that as soon as I graduate from Regent, I'll be able to take clients. It's going to be a process, but one I'm looking forward to, and I know I have a lot of learning to do under supervision before I'm able to start my own practice. As I reflect on my own vocational journey, I cannot help but think of my grandparents who left their homelands all those years ago with the hopes of providing a better vocational future for not only themselves, but for their children and grandchildren. I've done a lot of different things over my lifespan, and I'm sure I'll do many more. But in the end, I hope that I do something that is worthy of the sacrifices my grandparents made to provide me with a better future.